And here we go. Stop what you're doing. Pause this podcast and grab a snack.
Because it's time to talk about food.
Welcome back, everybody, to Creating Geeks, a parenting podcast of great responsibility. As always, I'm Chris.
I'm Sarah.
And we're here to talk to you this week or month or millennium or episode about our favorite childhood foods. So before we get into that, as always, you can find me in this podcast and our podcast at patreon.com/thechippa. I put that under the banner of the Chippa Made This, where I also do the Chipman Brothers Tangent with my brother, Movie Bob Chipman, the Talkbuster podcast, where I interview people that I used to work with at Blockbuster and other people from that industry in that time period, and also Shooting the Shit with Chippa. Sarah forgot to bleep it again.
Beep.
It's like a badly dubbed kung fu movie in here, folks. Where it's kind of similar vein as the Chipman Brothers Tangent, but instead of talking to my brother, I interview somebody else about some random thing. So
you know me from here and only here because that's where I am.
Well, they know you from various things.
I'm not allowed to be on the other podcasts.
Wah.
I want to crash a Talkbuster. And you were on the tangent, rather.
You were on the very first Talkbuster.
I want to be on a tangent.
You can be on a tangent.
I want to crash a tangent. That's what I'm going to do.
All right, so
I'm going to be a tangent on the tangent.
Oh, and then wouldn't that counteract the tangent and create a non-tangent?
I'm going to fuck with the space-time continuum as far as tangents.
The space tangent continuum.
Yes.
Dun dun dun. So we got the idea for this particular topic and episode, and we're not going to be able to touch on every single one because it could take forever. But we happen to be from Lynn, Massachusetts. And Lynn, Massachusetts...
Please don't come find us and kill us.
I didn't say where in Lynn. Lynn's a big town. Why would anyone come find us and kill us?
Because of the crazy-ass net nerds that sit in their basement and do nothing.
I'm pretty sure the crazy-ass net nerds...
Bitch about a Gillette commercial.
Oh, wow. So you made this about that. That is my most popular tweet of all time, was saying that commercial was awesome.
I'm ashamed of you, Chris.
Yeah, I'm apparently my children are supposed to be ashamed of me. So if you're listening to this and think my kids should be ashamed of me, they're ashamed of you.
Off.
I was going to say, they're ashamed of you. Have a nice day. So we happen to be from Lynn, Massachusetts, where a particular favorite food of children across the country and across the world is actually manufactured. We're from Lynn, where they make marshmallow fluff. So that's pretty cool. So we're going to talk a little bit about the history of marshmallow fluff and the company that makes it, and start this podcast off with a history lesson like we usually do. So without further ado, Sarah, start us off.
Marshmallow cream is a marshmallow confectionery spread...
is a marshmallow confectionery spread.
Fuck you. Marshmallow cream is a marshmallow confectionery spread, similar in flavor to solid marshmallow. One brand of marshmallow cream is Marshmallow FLUFF, which is used to make the New England FLUFFERNUTTER sandwich. This is manufactured by Durkee Mower, Inc. Its ingredients include corn syrup, sugar syrup, vanilla flavor, and egg whites.
Many late 19th century marshmallow paste recipes produced solid foods. The earliest mention of marshmallow cream as an American cookbook is from Fannie Farmer's Boston School Cookbook, printed in 1896. However, the author does not give a recipe for marshmallow cream in this book, instead giving a recipe for marshmallow paste in the cake filling section. In 1902, Mrs. Rohrer's new cookbook, the only new cookbook apparently, by Sarah Tyson Rohrer, describes her recipe for marshmallow filling.
You mean only cookbook?
Well, it's like Mrs. Rohrer's new cookbook, as if it's the only new cookbook.
Well, it's her new cookbook.
Sure.
I don't know, I think you're weird. Around the beginning of the 20th century, Somerville, Massachusetts resident and inventor of the product, Archibald Query, started selling his version door to door. He soon afterwards sold the recipe to two candy makers in Lynn, Massachusetts, H. Allen Durkee and Fred Mower, for $500.
Let me stop you right there for a minute reading that. In today's day and age, or even then, would you have bought a random white sugary paste from a creepy gentleman coming door to door? Yeah, put this on your food. It's going to be great. The kids will love it. It seems a little strange.
The product, yeah.
And also, they bought it for $500.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Isn't that guy that sold it dumb?
Right.
Womp womp.
Sorry, it's just very interesting.
The product first hit market shelves in cans as Toot Sweet Marshmallow Fluff in 1917. The first two words were dropped soon after the packaging changed to a glass jar in the 1940s. Today, the Durkee Mower Company is one of the only 3 companies in North America to produce marshmallow cream, the other products being Kraft Jet Puff Marshmallow Cream and Solo Marshmallow Cream.
Solo. Whoa, I skipped a page. We're having technical difficulties. Here we go. Fluff continues as a regional tradition in the northeastern United States. One popular use is in the marshmallow fluff and peanut butter sandwich, the FLUFFERNUTTER. Also, the container has a no-fail recipe for chocolate fudge printed on the side. I'd like to know in the comments section or just, sending things to this video, if anybody knows anyone who has ever made the fudge recipe off the side of the marshmallow fluff container. I've always read it there, and I don't know anyone that's their actual fudge recipe. Anyway.
National Fluffernutter Day.
Fluffernutter. National Froggle Knocker.
National Fluffernutter Day is observed annually on October 8th. That was Ava's due date, actually. Some food holidays are stickier than others, and National Fluffernutter Day is a stick-to-your-ribs, chin, fingers, nose kind of day. Celebrate zealously, then take a bath.
Yep.
The frick?
You gotta get that credit. This is the exact statement from the National Fluffernutter Day website.
Yes.
It was in 1960 that the term Fluffernutter was created
you off as hard as I can.
by an advertising agency for Durkee Mower in an attempt to effectively market the peanut butter and marshmallow sandwich.
Beyond the history of Fluffernutter, let's explore the culinary side of the extraordinary combination of sweet and nutty. Me and you. Sweet, nutty.
A little bit column A, column B from both of us.
I'm the sweet, he's the nutty. By layering all the creamy goodness of marshmallow cream and peanut butter between toasted bread, some kitchen experts have taken perfection to the limits. When pigs fly? Yes, bacon does complement a Fluffernutter.
Excuse me?
The hell?
Just read it. That's a bit of circus, perhaps. But that leads us to another ingredient. Fluffernutter and bananas. Elvis would cry tears of joy. Exchange that white toast for a pretzel bun and some head to my turn. All right, whatever hipster wrote this,
I'm confused.
Fluffernutters, it's just peanut butter and marshmallow fluff. Let's stop putting any other crap in it.
Well, they had that thing at Lowell that we got at school that was it was a wrap and it had peanut butter, jelly, fluff, Rice Krispies, and bananas.
Oh, the Rice. Okay, so fine. We can put banana. You know what? Fuck it. We're going to make Fluffernutters tomorrow and put bananas and bacon in it.
I don't want bacon.
I want bacon.
I'll do banana. Do you like original Fluffernutters or something with a twist? No matter how you like them, share by posting photos at
using hashtag Fluffernutter Day on social media. That's apparently how you're supposed to observe it. So I kept it in here. That's a weird website, by the way. Since at least 2006, the city of Somerville, even though, the idiot is from Somerville, sold the recipe, and we actually make it. Ha! Who's got it now, Somerville?
Suck it, Somerville.
Has celebrated Quarry's original
Keep your hipsters.
creation of fluff with an annual festival in Union Square.
In Lynn.
No, it's in Somerville.
Union Square is also Lynn.
No, that's Central Square. Titled What the Fluff? Typical activities at the festival have included a science fair, gallery show, cooking contests, and carnival games, such as a beanbag toss, all themed around marshmallow fluff. In 2011, actress Susan Olsen, most famous for portraying Cindy Brady on The Brady Bunch, attended the festival, where she sold her marshmallow fluff-inspired art.
According to a 2006 Boston Globe article, Massachusetts State Senator Jarrett Barrios proposed a restriction on the number of weekly servings of marshmallow fluff, Fluffernutter sandwiches in the form of an amendment to a bill that would limit junk food in schools. Screw him.
Just remember, we're from one of those coastal states.
The proposal was later dropped. Also, in 2006, State Representative Kathy Ann Reinstein planned to file a bill that would make the Fluffernutter the official sandwich of Massachusetts. All right, I like her.
Hear, hear.
The incident incident is locally referred to as the Great 2006 Kerfuffle.
Kerfluffle. Marshmallow cream is also a traditional confection in Arabic cuisine, where it is commonly referred to as soapwort meringue. I guess netef is the language. I don't know. The original recipe is based on soapwort, roots of Saponia officinalis, or roots of the marshmallow plant. But modern commercial varieties are nearly identical to marshmallow cream. It was mentioned in a 10th century Arabic cookbook, Kitab al-Tabih, the Book of Dishes, by Ibn Saywar al-Warraq. I hope I didn't butcher that.
Glad you read that one, not me.
Now let's talk about fluff. Sarah?
I want to go grab the jar and eat some that we have in the cabinet.
Anyone listening to this that has a jar of marshmallow fluff, it probably is, there from when your grandparents first bought it 20 years ago. And it doesn't go bad, it just hardens.
But you know what's really cool? And I didn't know this for the longest... Don't shut your eye hole. Longest time is that it settles. Like if you take a spoonful out, that spoonful dent isn't still there. When you open it again, it smooths itself out.
Yeah, it's like...
I never noticed that. My dad pointed it out to me when I was like...
You're 32.
No. I wasn't today years old, but I was like a few years ago years old.
Yeah, marshmallow fluff, it's kind of like
melted marshmallow.
Yeah, but it has the weird consistency of like concrete. It's very... So what was how far back can you remember the existence of marshmallow fluff?
My dad always liked marshmallow.
I love marshmallow fluff. I mean, a fluffernutter, I used to always put jelly in them. I'll be completely honest. I liked marshmallow fluff and grape jelly.
Fair.
But a fluffernutter, there's nothing quite like it.
No, I want one.
But also, marshmallow fluff is not a good substitute for a s'more.
But I have to tell you, how the hell do you spread it on bread? You try to spread it on bread and it tears
rips the bread apart.
So what are you supposed to do? Spread it on the peanut butter on the other slice of bread?
I think what you do.
You said you read something on there that you're supposed to spread it on toasted bread?
Yeah, well, they said a fluffernutter is toasted bread, and I've never heard of that.
Let's go try it.
Like, while we're recording this?
Yeah, we'll make that weird, like, sound that comes on when something's paused.
We gotta keep going. Back. Pretend that we did that, but we are gonna try it. I don't know. I kind of want a fluffernutter right now.
Yeah, me too. But you won't stop the podcast so you can go get one.
We don't have white bread. It went bad. Remember, we only have honey wheat, which I'm not... Honey wheat. I'm not sure if that'll work with my liquid white and my honey wheat, Bob Ross.
Hey, we could do a Bob Ross podcast.
Haven't we already?
We did, didn't we?
Ladies and gentlemen, Sarah Desmond. I'm taking the Chipman away.
That's fine.
Just kidding. All right, so since we're both tired, let's keep going. So with marshmallow fluff, again, we're from the Northeast. I bet you didn't know that marshmallow fluff was from our area, but it's another thing we lay claim to, like baked beans and douches named Sully. Anyway, let's talk about some other foods from our childhood. We're just going to name them off list style, not really do a background, but, just take this under the caveat of these are things we liked as kids, and we'd like to share them with our kids. And I think if you're the kind of parent that, like obviously limit foods that are junky and bad for kids, but like that idiot from the thing before, a childhood without a fluffernutter is a childhood I don't want to live.
What idiot?
The guy that tried to ban the intake of marshmallow fluff.
Yeah, we don't need that kind of...
Anyway, yeah, we don't need that kind of negativity.
Ain't nobody get time for that.
Anyway, yeah, what do? I do fluff. Anyway, let's talk about your first one, Sarah, here.
Magic metal cookies!
Dun, 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 dun. Why is it I can't get a magic medal anymore?
Why did you just do that?
R.I.P. Magic Medals.
What was the music?
That's what they play at like a funeral. R.I.P. the Magic Medals.
Oh, okay. Those were effing amazing. And I guess you could maybe make them yourself. It wouldn't be as
It was
fun.
like what was it, like a Keebler graham cracker cookie with chocolate?
It wasn't even a graham cracker. It was just like a...
It wasn't even a sugar cookie.
It was like just a chocolate chip cookie.
Without the chocolate chips.
And it had chocolate in the middle, and they had a couple different ones.
They were fantastic.
Bring back the Magic Medals, Keebler!
Was it Keebler or was it Chips Ahoy? Now I'm getting confused.
It's Keebler.
It was Keebler, all right. I mean, I remember.
Everyone make that a hashtag. Let's get Keebler to bring back the damn Magic Medals. We're doing this.
Hashtag put some magic in my middle.
Let's start it. Hashtag Magic Medals.
So yeah, there's that. If you guys remember Magic Middles, let us know about it. What your favorite one? Didn't they have chocolate and vanilla? I think they had both.
There was a regular vanilla cookie with chocolate filling, and I think they had double chocolate. I don't know, there's a couple of them.
Chocolate.
Like 2 or 3 of them.
We kind of just started these out here, so I'm going to talk about...
But yet they kept those stupid EL fudge cookies.
I liked those, but the Magic Middles were better. So I'm going to talk about some cereals now. I'm going to start with, if any of you guys remember, and I don't have a fond memory of this because it tasted good. I have a fond memory because it was just bizarro and weird. So there was a Nintendo-branded Mario and Zelda Together cereal from the late 1980s.
Oh, we forgot the Frankenberry... The 3 ghost cereals.
You can, okay.
Sorry.
So this Mario and Zelda cereal, it came in a black box, and it had a split down the middle, and they basically had the cover art from Mario and Zelda on it, and it was 2 slips of cereal, so you got half of the amount of cereal, but it was literally the same cereal, but one was shaped like Mario characters, and one was shaped like Zelda characters. And it was like this Trix, if it tasted more like a sweet tart, like kind of flavor. It was disgusting, but I absolutely loved it.
Ew.
You know, it was one of those things everybody had to have. So before we get to the next cereal, Sarah brought up that we didn't have listed here. I think Count Chocula a year-round cereal? No, it's not. It used to be, I thought.
They all were.
So who makes those? Is it Kellogg's? Is it General Mills?
General Mills, I believe.
General Mills has Count Chocula, which, you know, is one of those cereals the parents love because it's chocolate and marshmallows.
Yeah.
And then there's, what are the other ones, Sarah?
Frankenberry and Blueberry.
And I thought there was another one with like a werewolf on it, but I'm losing my mind. But yeah, Frankenberry and Blueberry, and they're exactly how they sound.
They taste like crap.
They taste like crap, and you love them. It's basically...
But I swear they tasted better when we were kids, but now that they only have them out at Halloween... I think they've changed them because they taste like shit.
Also, General Mills went all natural with all their ingredients, and you know how that affects the flavor of things. Yeah. All that high fructose corn syrup taken
Bring the flavor back to my cereals, goddammit.
Yeah, well, it's not giving you cancer anymore. See, that's the difference. So anyway, the next is Lucky Charms. What cereal?
Take that cancer thing out after.
Okay. But that's what everybody says, like the yellow 5 is going to give you it. That's like what all the crazy parents say.
Okay, I don't care.
It's like the crazy anti-vaxxers.
No, they're all against Red 40.
Yo, and yellow 5. No, yellow 5 is the one that's supposed to lower your sperm count. Serious. It's the stuff that's in Mountain Dew. Anyway, Lucky Charms. A cereal that has a new... When we were kids, is it me or did Lucky Charms seem to have a new promotion every week of, we added a rainbow. We added a pot of gold. Yes. We added a moon.
That annoys me that they're constantly switching. I want them to go back to the regular blues, whatever the hell they were. Red this.
Well, can you remember, is it hearts, stars, and horseshoes, clovers and blue moons, pots and golden rainbows, and the red balloons? But then they kept adding other shit.
There's a unicorn in there now.
And then they'd add the magical color-changing shamrock.
And then they had, at one point, they were, mixed up, so, they were the wrong colors.
I remember that. So, yeah, Lucky Charms are great.
Now they have, Lucky Charms mixed with Frosted Flakes,
which I actually kind of liked.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
It doesn't quite work, but I liked it. Yeah. Tell them about the thing we found my brother found for you, and it's sugar.
So, for those of you that think that the cereal pieces get in the way of your Lucky Charms marshmallows... I don't know if there's anywhere else to get it, but there's a candy store called It's Sugar, that we have in the marketplace in Linfield. It's just a giant, bright-ass, candy store. And they sell cereal box-sized boxes of just the marshmallows. In the regular, marshmallow, not really fruit flavor, and then in chocolate. And they are phenomenal. I got them for the regular non-chocolate kind for Christmas, and I put them in with a bowl of Rice Krispies instead of a pound of sugar, and it was amazing.
Yeah, that's freaking... They're delicious. It's like just having the Lucky Charms marshmallows.
I don't know that I could go as far as having an entire bowl of just the marshmallows. But it was nice to have them, and I killed off the Frosted Flakes Lucky Charms, and I added some of those.
It's funny because you know how every box of cereal, especially for parents, tries to tell you, even Cookie Crisp would say,
that's what I want to talk about.
We can talk about next. 100% of your daily value of vitamin C, or whatever. And this says absolutely 0% nutritional value on it.
Do you remember on the side of the cereal boxes when we were kids, there used to be a picture of a complete breakfast? And it was like a bowl of cereal, orange juice, milk, toast.
Speaking of that, how many times throughout our lifetime has whole milk gone from being the best thing that you can drink to the worst possible thing that you can drink, right? Or eggs, for that matter. But that's a different story.
So he mentioned Cookie
Crisp.
They screwed that up.
That's going to be kind of the gist of this whole podcast, I think.
Another cereal that used to taste good that tastes like crap.
Yeah, it tastes kind of like plastic now.
There is the Chips Ahoy, I think, makes it now, and it's not so bad.
It's definitely better than Cookie Crisp.
I will say, though, this is a slight tangent, it's still cereal, but I've gone into Walmart, and there's all kinds of funky cereals at Walmart. Dippin' Dots cereal, Sour Patch Kids cereal. There's a couple other ones. Is it Pop-Tart cereal? Is that one of them?
Yeah, Pop-Tart cereal is definitely there.
I had to go buy some cereals at Walmart this week.
Okay, so that brings us to the Pebbles, which are branded from the Flintstones, if you want to know probably how old.
Meet the Flintstones, they're a dabba-doo time.
A dabba-doo time. We'll have a gay old time.
Wilma! Okay.
That was awesome. So which do you prefer, Fruity Pebbles or Cocoa Pebbles?
Fruity, but even those, again, I feel like they've messed with them.
I loved their commercials.
The Fruities are still pretty good, but I feel like the chocolate ones...
Well, I feel like Cocoa Krispies stayed great and Cocoa Pebbles got gross.
Well, yeah, because Cocoa Pebbles and Fruity Pebbles are General Mills. Rice Krispies and Cocoa Krispies are Kellogg's.
Kellogg's?
Let's say Colgate.
Are Cohogs. Anyway, so that brings us to Krispies.
I love Rice Krispies.
Snap, Crackle, and Pop.
I love Krispy Treats.
Snap, Crackle, Mitch, and Pop. Mitch, how'd you get on the box? Well, in Hollywood, it's all who you know, and I know Crackle. It's a Mitch Hedberg joke for everybody out there.
We're just changing it.
Rest in peace. It's more fun this way. So which do you prefer, Cocoa or Rice Krispies?
Cocoa Krispies.
Gotta be in the mood. But you always buy Rice Krispies, but you put more sugar than anybody in the world.
I like them both equal. I thought you meant like chocolate Pebbles or chocolate Rice Krispies.
No, Cocoa or Rice Krispies.
You know what I miss is the Rice Krispie Treats cereal.
That was awesome.
Every now and then you could find it.
Rice Krispies treats are great. Hey, that's... Has anyone ever made a Rice Krispies treat on here? That uses marshmallow fluff.
Or marshmallows.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Marshmallow fluff is cheap.
A funny aside about Rice Krispies, me and my friends in high school, my friend Stavrula and her boyfriend at the time and her cousin went camping our summer of our senior year of high school, and we decided that over a fire we would make Rice Krispies treats, and they were delicious.
I don't know why, but I hate making them. Even though they're really not that hard to make, I don't know, I find it a pain in the ass. I think it's just stirring the melted marshmallow. But my mom used to, and it was a Toll House cookie recipe, or a Toll House recipe. It was butterscotch Rice Krispie treats with chocolate in the middle.
So what about Cocoa Puffs? Just a classic.
Cocoa for Cocoa Puffs.
Those have been great.
There's two different brands, isn't there?
No.
I thought there was.
No. Cocoa Puffs are just great. They're kind of like Kicks if they were chocolate.
I like Cocoa Puffs. They make the milk very chocolate milky.
They do. I absolutely love it. Another one that, is a parent's nightmare. So are you a Crispix or a Chex kind of person?
I don't think I've ever had Crispix as just a cereal.
So I've always been a Crispix guy.
I like Chex.
That was my cereal that you put. Chex are great, but everybody's parent made Chex Mix. Chex Mix even has really?
Nope.
But my mother and grandmother make this incredible garlicky, buttery thing called Nuts and Bolts, which Sarah's a big fan of. And Nuts and Bolts is just Chex Mix, but it's Crispix instead. So it's Crispix, plain Cheerios, pretzels, and mixed nuts with extra cashews added because I love cashews.
And his mom adds extra Crispix because those are my favorite.
Yeah, and it's just wonderful. If you make Chex Mix, I recommend making it with Crispix. It'll change your world. So lastly, even though we've already talked about a bunch of cereals, and this is just the last cereal, not lastly on the foods here, that got ruined, let's talk about the great 2018 honeycomb kerfuffle.
I think it's been a couple of years.
Let's talk about it.
So everyone loved honeycomb cereal. It was like Amazeballs, one of the huge boxes. Like one of the only cereals that came in a huge box.
That's because it's so goddamn big. It's like the size of the spoon.
And they decided to add more honey to it. So the box says. Whatever the hell they did, it sucked with a capital S-U-C-K.
It was terrible.
Like nobody liked it. It was horrible. And for the first time ever in my lifetime, enough people complained that they changed it. And it's actually back to the original yummy cereal. I actually have a box in the kitchen.
Way to use our rebellion powers, internet, for the most possible good.
Shout out to...
Not, like...
General Mills again?
Not, like impeaching a president or something like that, but getting honeycomb cereal changed back to the original flavor. Way to go, everybody.
Sorry. High five, liberals.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, but I'm impressed that worked.
First world problems right there.
But that means it's a company that cares about its customers and cares about...
Just like Gillette, right?
The best a man can get. No, see, women should get pissed off because they sell women's
I don't think they use that tagline anymore.
Yeah, Tangent again.
All right, let's move away.
So everyone go buy honeycomb to thank the company that makes it.
Let's move away to cereal from one of the strangest things that happened during my childhood. And this put Van Halen back on the map when they brought out Sammy Hagar as their lead singer with the Right Now, Hey, It's Your Tomorrow song with Crystal Pepsi. Does anybody else remember this?
Me!
Crystal Pepsi was the time they decided, hey, we know that you know that this is just chemicals, but we can literally change the color of it and not change the flavor at all. So they came out with clear Pepsi, which, quite frankly, still, even though they've brought it back out recently, just tastes like Pepsi with pepper added to it for some reason. And I know it's probably just in my head, but it feels like it has pepper in it. It's very strange. Is Ava waking up? No, she's not. We're good. So yeah, that's Crystal Pepsi. If you guys remember it,
I'm not a big Pepsi person, but I had it.
I think Crystal Pepsi's delicious.
They have blue Pepsi too.
They did. It sucked. That was just raspberry. Ugh. It was just raspberry soda. It was gross. But it also spawned one of the funniest SNL ads I've ever seen, where they just used the Van Halen song but did Crystal Gravy. So they said people at Thanksgiving dinner pouring clear gravy over everything, and it was disgusting.
How many different Mountain Dews have come and gone?
15 at least.
What?
All I know is they brought back Code Red, and it's the best one. That brings me to another weird soda. Do you remember Orbits, Sarah?
I remember them. I remember there was like a little bakery type shop thing in Beverly that had them. I had them once or twice, but I was not really a big soda person.
So Orbits was like a clear, fruity soda, like the New York sodas that actually we can put that on this list too because our friend Palmer found them. The New York sodas, seltzers, yeah. But Orbits, the fun thing they did is they floated little, like, I guess they'd be kind of similar to the little things you get in like a bubble tea these days, but they were just little orbs of flavor in basically a standard seltzer that would float around in it like a lava lamp. And that was it. And for like 6 months, everybody was really into them. And then they disappeared. So yeah, there's that. So what's your next one, Sarah?
3D Doritos.
Do you guys remember 3D Doritos? Anybody?
I do. They came in a tall plastic container.
It was like a Pringles can.
Yeah. Can't get my hand inside a Pringles can.
I have a really difficult time fitting my hand inside of a Pringle can. If you feel me, put your hands up. Come on. Anyway. So we can talk about Pringles too. Pringles are great, but 3D Doritos, they were like amazing. Puffy, air-filled Doritos.
And they were delicious. And you could put down a whole container without even noticing.
And the flavor was slightly different. They didn't just go and do the same flavor as the flat chip. It was a little different.
That was so good.
Yeah, they were great. So now that we're on to like chips and things like that, I'm going to do my personal favorite snack food from when I was a kid that I'm so happy that my daughter loves. Ava's way into this. Smart food. Wow. Sarah's making gross sounds because she doesn't like cheese. I know you can all harp on it later.
But I like orange cheddar popcorn. Go figure that out.
Yeah, but smart food...
Smart food is too creamy.
It's a cheddar... That's what I love about it. It's a cheddar cheese white popcorn. Why does it have to be white? It's in a black bag. But cheddar cheese popcorn, and it's just delicious. And...
it's mixed roast.
Yeah, Ava loves it. And... yeah, I
like cheese curls.
Yes, I like cheese curls. No, it's still around. So yeah, there's that. So Sarah, why don't you talk about English muffin pizzas?
So as a kid, you're gonna laugh at me. My mom used to make us English muffin pizzas, which I would hope you'd all know is just an English muffin cut in half with. My mom used some sort of store-bought pizza sauce, but I'm assuming it's what everyone uses, and cheese, and you put it in a toaster. I thought my mother invented this, and that made her the coolest thing ever. I thought I had the coolest mother ever.
She was the coolest thing ever.
That invented English muffin pizzas, and it wasn't until I was an adult, and after she had passed away, that I found out that she didn't invent them. And I was not happy.
And you're just pissed that you're not getting all those English muffin pizza royalties.
Right? No, but my mother was still badass. But I thought, that's something I'll always remember. I've made them for Ava, and she liked it, and I cried.
Oh.
Because my mother wasn't here to see that I passed it down.
Yeah.
I haven't made them in a while, so maybe I should. So let's go some English muffin pizzas and some fluff.
English muffin, how about English muffin pizza with fluff on it? Dun, dun, dun. So, moving on to, in the same vein of family members that make weird stuff, both of my grandparents, so my grandmother on my father's side, my grandmother on my mother's side, both had very unique ways of making tuna fish. And ugh. I know Sarah hates tuna fish. I love tuna fish sandwiches, especially since I was younger.
You said you don't like it anymore.
No, I do still, but I loved it when I was little.
I said to get tuna fish for lunch, and you said no.
I don't like the bags of it.
But they made fun flavors.
Yeah, but anyway, back to the tuna fish. So, my grandmother had me convinced that it was chicken because the brand she got was Chicken of the Sea.
Which grandmother was this?
Grammy. And Vange used Bumblebee. Your balls are showing. Bumblebee tuna.
What?
Ace Ventura. They say something that sounds like Bumblebee tuna. So he's running around Bumblebee tuna. Bumblebee tuna. It's all the aboriginals. Anyway, so my mother's mother made a tuna fish sandwich. You know, people put mayonnaise in it. People put oil in it. You know, but it was mayonnaise and apples. And this sounds gross to people, but the sweetness of the apples with the savory of the tuna fish and the mayonnaise was friggin' incredible. You have to try it. It makes a great sandwich. And for some reason, at her house, it always had to be with Sprite. I don't know why, but it was always with Sprite. That's the flavor profile in my brain. My other grandmother put sweet pickle relish in it instead of apples. And that was delicious, too. So, apparently that one's more common. So those are my, childhood sandwiches. Back to Sarah.
Hi! Alright, so the next thing in the, going off the family stuff. So my nanny and my mom, Nanny was her mom, would make biscotti, which you all know, Italian cookies with anisette and a lemon glazy frosting, and my mom would also make shapes with the same dough. I'm not sure where the recipe came from, if it was passed before my nanny. I'm assuming, I know our pasta sauce recipe came from, my great-grandmother or something like that. And then my sister makes them, and now since my grandmother and my mother have passed away, I make them, and we make them every Christmas. It's basically an all-day thing of making the dough, making the shapes, making the loaves, cutting the loaves, painting them, frosting them, the little sprinkle balls, but it's something that I just can't have Christmas without.
They're delicious.
They're very good, and I love them, and the dough isn't that hard to make, except for the fact that my family didn't believe in measurements in recipes. So, for the glaze, we'll say, it's a box of confectioner sugar plus extra.
Which is exactly what it says.
Vanilla and lemon extract. No measurements. None whatsoever. And if you look at the different recipe, versions of recipes, what my sister has versus what I have, there's always ingredients that are different.
Oh, yeah.
The next one, I guess, is me, too. So, my sister, well, she's my sister. We were kids. She's older than me. We used to have ice cream sundaes, and she would when it started to melt, would mix it up so it was liquidy, and she called it ice cream moolah.
See, we did something similar, but we'd put it in the microwave to make it melt down. And you make ice cream soup. That's what we call it.
Yeah.
It's basically milk at that point. But what are you going to do?
It was anyway.
So, those of you from the area don't have much to say about this place in particular.
This one, you just spray the area.
The area. But Salem, Mass. is the adjacent town to where we're from. Lynn and Salem are adjacent, and Salem, is the Halloween capital of the world. This has nothing really to do with that. But on Highland Avenue heading into Salem, there was a potato chip company, local potato chip company called Vincent's. And they're not there anymore. I think it's like an easy storage place or something like that now. But I think we still have it in the kitchen. My grandparents would always have a bag of potato chips in a 5-gallon bucket that they'd have below the breakfast nook. And it was a Vincent's potato chips box. It wasn't always Vincent's potato chips. That's just where they stored it.
Why?
I don't know. So the kids could come and get potato chips. And
Why don't you put the bag on the counter?
The next is Sella's chocolate-covered cherries, which both of our families have a story for.
Yes.
My mother and her brothers would always get Sella's chocolate-covered cherry boxes from their parents every year for Christmas. So my mother continued the tradition of always giving her brothers those chocolate-covered cherries. Sarah, what was your tradition with the same thing, strangely?
Yeah, my mom always gave us a box for Christmas. I don't know why. I don't know where the tradition came from. But as far back as I can remember, we got them, and she wrapped them, and now me and my sister, swap off. Whoever grabs them, gives them from my dad.
And they're getting harder and harder to find.
Yeah.
The next...
For some reason, everyone likes the yucky, gross Queen Anne's, but they're you see more of, but it doesn't seem like they actually sell.
Right. And while we're on candy of sorts, my favorite candy bar from when I was a kid that I think they had another version of it for a while called the Thingamawhatsit or the Thingamabob or something like that was the Whatchamacallit, which is a funny sounding candy bar. That's why I liked it when I was a kid. But it's kind of similar in vein to the Take 5. I don't think there's peanuts in it, but it's like
there's also no pretzels in it.
Yeah, it's like a crispy rice and chocolate and nougat and caramel strange ass candy bar that I absolutely love, and I want one right now.
Fruity marshmallows. I don't know if they're hard to find, but they were around when I was a kid. But they're mini marshmallows, but they're fruit flavored. There's lime, lemon, orange, and cherry, or is it strawberry?
I think it's strawberry.
And they are very addictive. Like, I could sit and put down a whole bag, but they're yummy. And we had them as kids, and I can still find them, but they're hard to find. Every so often they pop up in the grocery store, but I know you can get them at Walmart.
My next one is my mother's mother always had a drawer of snacks in her kitchen, and they were always, Pepperidge Farm snacks, like, Milano cookies and Goldfish. But she always had the Ginger Men, which are the gingerbread cookies that look like little people that have little sugar crystals on them. Yeah. And every once in a while will get me a bag of them, and I just love them, and I think they're great.
They're very good.
Okay, and similar.
It's another one that I loved that has gone away, and Keebler, bring them back. The Jingle cookies, the Christmas cookies that they had called Jingles with the sprinkles. I used to eat those with a glass of eggnog, and I haven't had them in years. And Keebler, what are you doing? Why are you taking my cookies away? You're harshing my cookie mellow, guys. Where are them damn elves to bring back my cookies?
It's friggin' elves. Yeah. It always reminds me of the movie Elf when they talk about the different types of elves, and then they show the Keebler elves in the tree, and they goes, "Who would bake inside of a tree?" And they just show the tree on fire. I always liked that. Then there's Fruit by the Foot. So Fruit by the Foot was an interestingly odd thing. It kind of in the same vein as Bubble Tape, which was the bubble gum in a tape container. But I liked Fruit by the Foot better. Fruit by the Foot, they basically took fruit roll-ups, which are one of the strangest concoctions of smushed fruit made into like a piece of paper that looks like you found, a person and cut their skin off. But let's leave that alone.
Flattened fruit snack.
But they would take that and make it a rolled like fruit tape that you'd unroll and eat. And I thought Fruit by the Foot was awesome. I mean, it's just a fruit snack in a rolled form.
But I feel like it was actually longer than a ruler length.
I think it was a yard. 3 feet.
Yeah.
Just like bubble tape, I think, is a yard.
So why isn't it Fruit by the Yard?
To not confuse children.
But that does confuse children.
It's fruit measured by the foot. It doesn't mean it has to be a foot. If it was fruit, it would just be a foot of fruit. Weird. 30 odd foot of grunts, which is the name of Russell Crowe's rock band from Australia.
And I needed to know that why. That's relevant to this podcast. Why?
It just sounded like a funny thing to say.
Okay.
So the next,
yes, fruit by foot is good. I have had
the next is my favoritist thing, and
me.
Yes, absolutely. And it made me really happy when it was re-released when a certain movie that's hated on the internet came out in 2016, and they re-released it. And my brother got me a case of it. Ecto Cooler. So High C has this like orange lime flavor that they came out with and branded to Slimer from the Ghostbusters, Real Ghostbusters cartoon show when I was a kid.
Yes.
And that was my favorite thing ever. And I always loved Ecto Cooler. And they came back out with it, and I got to have some, and it made me really friggin' happy. And if you can find it, hopefully with this new Ghostbusters movie coming out in 2020 that I hope is good, they'll bring it out again, and I'll be able to get more. So, again. Yay, Ecto Cooler.
If you have any, you can send them. We'll take it.
Send me your Ecto Cooler. Send me your broken masses or whatever.
You're poor, you're huddled.
Yes.
Big League 2. That bubblegum for kids that wanted to pretend they were chewing tobacco.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was. It was bubblegum to replace chewing tobacco for baseball players.
It's really good.
Yeah, it's like bubblegum in like pasta shreds.
I'm not allowed to have gum anymore because my jaw does weird things. So the dentist told me no more gum for me. It makes me very sad. But I have bubblegum ice cream and there's gum in that, but it's frozen so you can chew it like candy.
She's cheating.
Don't tell my dentist.
So,
can I tell you the bubblegum ice cream is a hard thing to find around here?
Yeah, but Richardson's,
can't buy it in the store.
Best ice cream, makes it.
But I have the attachment for my stand mixer to make ice cream, so I can make my own. Woohoo!
That's going to be awesome. And we also have penny candy on the list. You know, the random little like.
Not to be confused with Pennywise the Clown.
Correct. Penny candy. You know, you go into like your local general store.
I love general stores.
Anyways. And you know, they just got the random little candies, the Tootsie Rolls, the.
Let me see your Tootsie Roll.
Tootsie Rolls and the oh my God, we made a long list here. The Tootsie Rolls and the Bazooka Joe gums and the things like that. And penny candy is just fun. Speaking of penny candy. We went to the penny candy store on Cape Cod and had them do the candy bar for our wedding. So that was really
love
cool.
Penny candy. There's, like you said, there's a candy store. It's a little tiny, like, hole in the wall, like, barely can walk around candy store. And it's got a section in the back that's all, like, penny candy. And you get a little, like, wicker tray thing and you fill it. And I always overflow and spill everywhere and spend $1 bajillion in there. And get all kinds of yummy things, and I love them. I love penny candy.
Yeah, I'll put Push Pops and Ring Pops in the same thing because they're fun. They're still around.
Yeah.
Push Pops are like a pop with like a candy tube that would push out of it that you could put on your finger and eat. And Ring Pops was the same exact material, but it was on a ring you could wear on your finger.
Yeah.
They're fun. Kids love them because you can play with them.
Yeah.
And that brings us to Fun Dip, one of the strangest confections in the world.
I love Fun Dip.
So any of you that have ever been in a Spencer's Gifts or a Hot Topic know of like the tubes of pure sugar, like
the giant-ass pixie stick.
Giant-ass pixie sticks. Well, Fun Dip was basically pixie stick in a pouch. And it came with a sugar scoop that you licked and made wet. And then you'd stick it in the sugar, so it would be hardened sugar with sugar, like,
and it
dust.
Was 3 packets. There was cherry, grape, and then the blue raspberry that went from green to blue. But for some reason, when you go to, like, penny candy, you can get just cherry or just the blue raspberry. You can't get just grape, which is bizarre as hell. And if someone can explain why that is, I will send you some Fun Dip.
Okay. And this one kind of would go under the penny candy thing, but I had to separate it because I will take down an entire bag of this myself. Gummy frogs. There is a crap load of gummy candies out there, but these weird lime with like a cream bottom gummy frogs are the best friggin' thing on the planet, and I want some right now. And I have some, and I will eat them.
I bought them for you.
From It's Sugar.
Yes.
This podcast brought to you by It's Sugar.
I also got myself toasted marshmallow jelly beans because those are by far the best jelly
Those are the Jelly Belly. Not to be confused with Bernie Bott's many flavored beans. Or Bean Boozled.
Which is by Jelly
Or
Belly.
Bean Boozled.
Which is by Jelly Belly.
Which is the Jelly Belly game.
There's actually a store at our Jordan's Furniture it's all Jelly Belly Jelly Bean products.
Well, all of Jordan's Furniture's opening when you walk in where the IMAX is all made out of jelly beans.
Jelly beans.
They made like structures out of jelly beans. Because
why not?
I don't know if is Jordan's Furniture nationwide?
No.
So Jordan's Furniture, for those of you that don't know what it is this weird ass chain of furniture stores that are actually very good furniture stores, but they didn't want to just settle for being a furniture store. So every single one of them has something else that's a draw. So this particular one has an IMAX theater, one of the best IMAX theaters in the area, with Sunbrella seats, which they used to be Memory Foam, which is a brand that they sell. And they have a like laser water music show, a Richardson's ice cream place, the Bean Town, which is, Beantown, Boston, made out of beans. They have a Fuddruckers, which is not pornography, it's a burger place. And they've got the Jelly Belly store, and they have a ropes course.
Used to be trapeze.
Yeah, it used to be a trapeze. And that, that's that Jordan's. The other Jordan's has the Enchanted Village and Mom, the Motion Odyssey ride. The other Jordan's
There's
furniture,
one that's Mardi Gras themed.
Yeah, it's Mardi Gras themed. So,
and they actually had a Mardi Gras parade that comes out.
It's very strange. So when you go to the movies there, you actually come out at the top of the store and have to walk all through the store to come out. It's like a Disney ride. It's kind of funny.
I think the Natick one's the one that's... Yeah.
The Natick Collection. Hey, moving on.
Marshmallow ice cream cones. These are also found in penny candy. So it's a little teeny thin ice cream cone with marshmallow ice cream. And they are amazing. And you can still get them. I get them at that penny candy store in a big container. But I feel like they give you less of the marshmallow. But they're still so damn good. Flying saucers. At least I think this is what this candy is. It's a foam candy?
It's basically the wafer tastes like a host at church.
And it's got little candy balls in it.
Basically like nerds. They're like nerds inside of it.
No, but they're not fruit flavored though.
You introduced me to these and they're delicious. And then there's one of my favorite strange things from when I was a kid that eating them as an adult feels a little strange because just having something squirt in your mouth is weird. But Gushers were awesome. That's what she said. Exactly. Gushers, when I was a kid, they came out, I think, when I was like 6 or 7 years old. Mm. And it's a fruit snack that has liquid inside of it. And when you bite them, they squirt.
They're weird.
It's weird, but they're delicious. And they make like 1,000 different flavors.
It's like a spicy one that just came out.
Yeah, I need to have them. So then we get to the biggest controversy of our podcast.
In our
I really like soft Chips Ahoy cookies.
Ew. Crunchy Chips Ahoy.
Soft.
But when I make home-baked ones, I don't like them super crispy. I like them to almost have a cakey consistency. Is that how you describe that way I make them?
Yeah, you definitely more cakey than cookie-y.
Yeah.
They're kind of more the consistency when you make them of the biscotti.
Yeah, but that's not them.
But yeah, I will.
Chewy Chips Ahoy, gross.
Chewy all day long. Chewy all day long.
Gross. Crunchy Chips Ahoy.
So, another weird food.
So I have a thing about is it the Chips Ahoy that claimed that was 1,000 chips?
1,000 chips, delicious.
In every bag. I took a class my senior year of high school because I didn't have to take any required math or science, and it was a statistics class. It was like science and statistics or something.
Yep.
And one of the things we did was we had a couple of bags of Chips Ahoy cookies, or a bag of Chips Ahoy cookies, and we actually ate them and attempted to count and see if there was 1,000 chips in the bag.
Were there?
I don't remember.
Well, that's boring.
Possibly.
It's probably like plus or minus 10%.
I think so.
So then that brings me to a weird chip, I guess, that I had never seen in a store till I was older, so I was convinced that my grandparents just imported them from somewhere. But there's this weird, like, cracker chip, I guess corn chip?
Yeah.
Called the Bugle. It's like a super sweet corn chip, I guess, and they're like a hollow cone, I guess, made to look like a cornucopia or a bugle. And they're delicious, and they're also one of the worst. They're fried, so they're like wicked bad for you, but they're delicious. And my grandparents would always serve them with this weird shrimp dip that I thought was delicious.
But they're not all that sweet, though. It's just like a weird version of a Frito.
They seem sweet to me. I don't
like
know
a weird
why.
version of a Frito. But then
It
they
is
have
a
like
weird
the
version
chocolate
of a
peanut butter
Frito.
ones that I like.
Maybe. And then there's we'll end this with what's been our daughter's favorite snack.
Up until she found popcorn.
Up until she found popcorn. Give me popcorn. Is the classic standstill from Pepperidge Farm, the goldfish.
The snack that smiles back.
The snack that smiles back goldfish. With more different versions than Mountain Dew.
They actually just came out with
a taco chip style goldfish, which they're very good.
Yeah, we were eating them in the grocery store today because I was starving.
So all of these things are things that we loved from our childhood that were edible. I'm sure there's more. We'll probably do another episode. But they're all things that, make a childhood and make a life. And,
it's fun seeing the things that our kids will eat and try and telling them about the stuff that we wish would come back and begging Keebler
speaking of
to
that,
bring our cookies back.
I always thought Chef Boyardee was gross, even though I would always make my parents buy it. Chef Boyardee and SpaghettiOs, but Ava loves it. Spaghettis!
Yeah, we give her my sister and I used to eat the raviolis for Chef Boyardee, and occasionally I'd get the beefaroni from Chef Boyardee, but it's hard to because I'm Italian, so I should be eating real sauce. And my mom used to always buy us SpaghettiOs, and we never ate them.
Yeah.
So I need to buy a can and eat SpaghettiOs.
SpaghettiOs are disgusting.
Do they taste like Chef Boyardee?
They taste the exact same as Chef Boyardee. It's like someone took Campbell's tomato soup and tried to pass it as pasta sauce.
Ugh.
Yeah, I can't stand it. But our daughter loves it, so there you go. So that's the end of our childhood foods episode of Creating Geeks. Again, we hope you enjoy this. It's a lot of fun to make this. Hope you guys enjoy listening to it. As always, you can post comments, topic ideas, or anything else to patreon.com/thechippa or to the YouTube page, The Chippa Made This. Which through all these you can get the Chipman Brothers Tangent, Talkbuster Podcast, Shooting the Shit with Chippa, and this, the Creating Geeks Podcast. And so, as always, Sarah,
there's no shame in being a geek, no matter how old you are.
Good night, guys.
Peace out.
Or good day, mate. Bye.